So basically, your brain is nothing but a computer storage, and it stores all your own experience. Your experience and the perception of your experience is stored inside your brain. So as you go through life, that storage needs supplements to cleanse itself, to help for refile itself, and that's the reason that you have to always keep some of these elements readily available to yourself. So how do you get weight loss without hair loss, without losing your hair? You gotta do infusions, and let me show you. You guys can see the infusion. This is my office. Do you see this? And you guys can see the infusion that's going inside me. And this is what I call a Juvanni bag. And you can see it dripping. Please come drip with me. Here, this is one of our routine weight loss supplement treatment. Whenever you're on any weight reduction or body transformation journey and you want to do diet and or you're on any goal that you're trying to achieve through controlling your food intake, this is a supplement that we like to give. This is something, I call it a 0-calorie bag of nourishment. There is no way, if you ate all day long for the entire month and for all the months in that year, you didn't even take breaks while sleeping, you would still not be able to get all the nutrients and minerals and antioxidants that this bag contains. What kind of supplements are necessary during perimenopause and menopause? So menopause and perimenopause are poorly understood phases of life. Basically, it is when your body stops to act the way it used to. It's like your body is pausing. So menopause is like when your periods stop for a year. Medically, people call it menopause. Their menstruation has paused. However, menopause is way more than just your periods stopping. It is an all system pause. It acts, it's not just that hormonal balance, it acts on every single organ of your body. Your brain kind of pauses. That's why women speak of brain fog during their pauses, and they can't figure out why, even if they try to sleep or even if they try to relax and rest, they still can't feel that like themselves. It's because all their systems are pausing. They keep getting sick again and again because their immune system is cracking, and every small illness will just go and attack them and they'll fall sick. Their mood is already disrupted by the hormones and the dysregulation of the hormones. So that plays a key factor in them feeling lack of energy. Another thing that pauses is your gut biome. Your gut biome relies on estrogen because estrogen is very important in supplying some nutrients to the end organs. And as the gut biome changes, I like to say to my clients that when you're in your 50s or late 40s or even late 50s, your gut biome is going to act just as jaded as you are. It's not going to open itself and let some essential minerals and nutrients in if it doesn't recognize it. So that's what makes supplements very, very important during your pauses. And the thing is that these supplements need to be introduced into your system intravenously, because that way they can bypass your gut and they can just be delivered to the end organ directly. So as you can see right now, I am getting my own supplements, and this is our bag of infusion that we call Juvanni Infusion. This is something that I make in my office, but I also do it in New York, in Scarsdale, where I also reside. So this is for me. Like, what do I do at the end of my day? So just come drip with me. If you are somebody who knows us and who follows us or who is our client, you probably have either experienced it or you've probably seen somebody else experiencing it in my office. As far as a human body is concerned, this infusion is nothing but like an oil change. So if you were a vehicle, like a car or a vehicle that's carrying your consciousness, this would be like an oil change for your body. The human body is nothing but a vehicle that carries your consciousness, and it is way superior than the car that you drive. And even the shittiest car that you drive will still need at least one oil change in the year, unless you're a Tesla. But even Tesla needs frequent repairs. However, a human body requires this oil change, especially during your pauses, at least once a quarter. And once you're over 50 and you're completely in the pause, I recommend it once a month. I personally, for myself, I am finding out that I am needing this treatment every 3 weeks. And this is when I am a super healthy person. I don't drink alcohol. I don't smoke. I sleep. I monitor my sleep. I eat very healthy, home cooked meals mostly, and organic and everything. And I monitor my protein intake. And still, I feel that during the pause, I am requiring supplements every 3 weeks. So these are super essential. And especially if you are also interested in preserving your beauty and your skin and hair, this becomes so important. Again, during menopause, women suffer from so much lack of energy. And again, this is very important then too. Many times people ask me how many elements I add to it. So this bag contains almost 25 different elements. So it's not like one or two things. It's like a lot of things. So yeah, that's why it's so important. And these are like in high doses. So, and plus, most of the stuff that we introduce in this bag is without preservatives, and that's that. What are the vital amines? So vital amines is basically the initial name for vitamins was vital amines, and then somebody coined this word, vitamins. And the thing is that when people feel that vitamins don't work, they may be right, because a lot of the vitamins that you take, especially the water soluble ones, it's very hard to get water soluble vitamins absorbed through your gut, because when you eat water soluble vitamins and you swallow those pills, in your stomach, the acid which is released in your stomach to basically completely purify the food that you're inserting in your mouth, in your system, the acid usually denatures all the water-soluble minerals and nutrients. And something like B12 or B complex, pretty much all the B vitamins, they're completely denatured. So by the time these elements get to the gut biome cannot recognize the identifying features of these elements, and therefore it doesn't let it pass through. So all those pills that you may be ingesting very conscientiously every single day, they all are basically being pooped out or peed out from your system. And the only thing that you probably are keeping inside your system are the preservatives that were added to those pills, because they will just go and lodge themselves into your liver, basically just making the metabolism of your system slow. So that is one of the reasons that it's not that the vital amines are not working, it's just that we're introducing them into your system incorrectly, and that's why they just never get to the end organ. When you're younger, everything is a lot more robust and sometimes also naive, so they let different things in. However, as you get older, everything inside you also gets smarter, and the gut biome gets smarter also because it has been hurt and jaded before, because by the time you're 50, you have probably taken antibiotics so many times when you got sick. So it's, gut biome has been wiped out several times over. So it just is very smart by the time you're in your 50s and 60s. And that's why people who are older, we have to treat them completely differently, because they just don't react that well to oral stuff, especially the vital amines. Now, not all vitamins need to be given in this way. There are vitamins that are fat soluble, which I always tell people to take orally. For example, your vitamin D. I don't like it in an injectable form. I don't like it in any other form but oral. Or even intravenous. Like, never put vitamin D intravenously. That's crazy. Can supplements really help with hormones balance during menopause, or do I need HRT? So yeah, the supplements like HRT you will still need, because once your menopause starts, your body does require it, misses, because all these elements come together, because humans are nothing but a chemical reaction occurring under our skin. And that is the reason that we want people to preserve as much of their internal chemistry as possible. And since internal chemistry is made up of not just the vital amines, but also your hormones, but also the amount of cortisol that you're spilling inside your system, and plus also all the sugars that you're consuming, also all the toxic substances that you're consuming, and also the toxic emotions that you're undergoing. All of those things make up you as you. So during menopause, a lot of other bodily symptoms start happening, like your sleep gets disrupted, your gut gets disrupted, your system is basically, menopause is the time when when the matrix is trying to eject you. These are the things that will help you exit the matrix of your life and the matrix of your existence as you know it. And these are the small things that start falling apart. So for women, we call it menopause, and we can totally tell when a woman pauses, because everything pauses for her. Her libido pauses, her energy pauses, her brain is pausing again and again. It's like she's having glitches because women get so much brain fog. The sleep is also very glitchy because you will get disrupted, whether it is because of you needing to go to the bathroom or you not being able to go back to sleep once you wake up to go to the bathroom. So those things will definitely create a lot of trouble for you to have a restorative experience, and your body will not be able to, and your mind body complex will not be able to restore itself every night. So you will wake up tired, and you will wake up with aches and pains, and you will wake up with immune dysregulations, and then you'll go to your doctor and you will say, hey doctor, what happened? Why am I not feeling well? And the doctor is going to do your blood work, and the blood work will show nothing. And it'll be like, oh, maybe your vitamin D is low, or maybe your cholesterol is a little high. And you'll ask the doctor, but why am I gaining weight? I'm eating the same thing. I'm really not changing anything. And the doctors have no real solutions to this. And this particular set of cocktail that at least we have, which basically brings together a whole bunch of antioxidants and B vitamins and a liver cleanse and some magnesium and a little bit of NAD, which NAD is basically like a booster. So I gave myself not just the infusion of cocktail, but also I added a booster to this, because with the oil change, sometimes it's always good to upgrade it and give yourself a little booster. So I gave myself a tiny bit of booster too. But will that fix all my problems? No. I will still need some hormonal replacement, and for that you have to go to your GYN or OB, and they check your hormone levels, and then they recommend which hormones and at what doses are going to be helpful for you. So yes, HRT, this is not going to do everything for me. So it's not like all the things that I need. It is a lot of the things that I need, but not all. And I'll still need the HRT for the pause. Now, before I forget, I must also mention that just like we have menopause for women, we have andropause for men, because men also go through a pause. Poor guys. I mean, for women, we know that when we stop having our period for a year, we have paused and we will have all the indications. Men do not even have an indication, and they're like over the cliff. They just fall off the cliff. And either it will be like some kind of a cardiac event that they will have, or and they will have signs. They will have small signs of their body starting to glitch, but those signs are very dubious, because well, you will notice your cholesterol creeping up, you will notice pre-diabetes happening, which is again a sign of a metabolic slowdown. You will notice that your blood pressure is a little higher and your energy is a little low, and some men will experience a lack and loss of libido. They will lose their hair, their testosterone will start falling. And just like women have breast problems, and breast cancer is way more common during menopausal years and postmenopausal years than before, men will have the same problems but with prostate. What breast is for women and menopause, prostate is for men and andropause. So they will have prostate problems, and post-andropausal men develop prostate enlargement or cancer all the time. They have to be on medications to prevent different problems of prostate. So yeah, I mean, the pauses are naturally designed phases of a human body where your body starts disintegrating and falling apart. And then, yes, the entire medical system, if you live in a first world country, the entire medical system comes together and deals with this symptom or the other symptom, but nobody, entire medical system comes together and deals with this symptom or the other symptom, but nobody brings it together for you. And basically, now the integrative doctors and some people who are in longevity medicine, like myself, we are the ones who just provide solutions for this particular phase of people's lives. And yes, so one very important problem that people face during the pause of their life, like menopause or andropause, is weight gain. And when you go on any treatment or any, whether it is a naturalistic treatment or whether it is a treatment that requires medication or medical intervention, like a GLP-1 agonist or HCG, whatever is your mode of removing excess weight, there is another associated symptom, which is hair loss. Now, hair loss can be because of hormonal dysregulation, stress, cortisol, or just the fact that you're pausing. And sometimes your hair loss will indicate your body's metabolic slowdown before anything else. So, yeah, people say that yes, it runs in their families. Yes, exactly. Our DNA is programmed, it carries the instructions upon birth. So, yeah, your DNA has everything, and you're probably, and every human that exists today is a combination of at least 4,000 people that came before him or her. So, yeah, your DNA carries all these phases, and you're basically manifesting your DNA combination. And, but there are environmental interventions and elements that now are present for us. Our ancestors didn't have these, but we do. And that's the reason that everybody should try it. So, that these are the reasons that, we should try some of these newer interventions. As our understanding is deepening, our treatments are also becoming better. Can IV infusions help nourish my skin to remove the stretch marks? So, what are stretch marks? Stretch marks happen when your skin is stretched beyond its limit. Your skin is nothing but the most expensive fabric that you will own. Your skin is the holder of your consciousness. Your skin is represented inside your brain, and every part of your brain, every part of your skin is represented inside your brain. And your brain can, especially the areas, the visible areas of your face, is where your brain can view itself. And your eyes are the only part of your brain that is outside, that is facing outside. And your eyes don't even see. Your eyes basically carry the signals of what you look at, and they take it to your brain, and the brain is the place where the whatever you're looking at is deciphered. So that's why we say that the eyes are windows to the soul. However, eyes are windows inside your brain, because you viewing it and your brain perceiving what it's looking at is a miracle of evolution. And it is such a, humans are such a wonderful specimen. And now humans, in combination with artificial superintelligence, is going to be a game changer for our species. But Let me go back to what you're talking, the skin. So your skin is has a certain limit until when it can, as we live in this life, if you're alive human being, your skin can only stretch to a certain point, and after that stretch, it can damage the fibers of the outermost layers of skin. And so stretch marks can appear after childbirth, after weight loss and weight gain cycles, and they are some of the most difficult things to treat, because it's very hard, because you have to not just treat the surface but also the deeper layers. And for stretch marks, these infusions are super important because they hydrate the skin, and they also provide, and again, these infusions have to be combined with some of our laser treatments that can topically also create a different source of energy. We transmit this source of energy, and that will definitely help you regain the elasticity back into your skin. And the only time that stretch marks will like really respond to laser treatments and these infusions is when you're still young. So if somebody comes to me in their 40s and they're already in perimenopause, or if somebody comes to me in their 50s and they're like, oh, I have stretch marks here or there, and can they go? It's very hard to remove those stretch marks. And most of them, if they're like really tremendous or very, then we basically tell them to either accept them and live with it, or else just they have to undergo surgical excision. And sometimes people choose to surgically excise the parts of skin that have failed. So not all stretch marks will lead to failure of skin. They're just cosmetic, so many times people just learn to live with them. Does Ozempic or other GLP-1 medications cause hair loss, and how can I avoid it? So yes, so when you do GLP-1 agonists, so what are GLP-1 agonists? GLP-1 agonists is this newest class of medications. These are the newest meds on the block for not just sugar neutralizing. So basically they're best utilized for sugar neutralizing. They are anti-diabetic medications. And guess what? Sugar is one of the most toxic substance known to humans. Sugar is highly addictive, and it is the currency that your body understands. And the amount of sugar that a modern human introduces in their system is ridiculously high. And that is why a lot of us lose the ability to metabolize and use our bodies to the best of its functionality, because we just eat too much sugar. And GLP-1 agonists are some of the best weight treatments for humans known to us during the modern times, only because they can be used over a long period of time. And because they can be used for a long period of time, they have a great impact on our fat cells. Sugar is toxic for our body, not just because it oxidizes our body and cooks our body, but also because it specifically acts on our fat cells, and our fat cells start becoming very abnormal and inflamed and greedy when sugar is around, because they just become addicted. And then they start increasing in size because they just start hoarding all the energy that you're creating. And that's basically the mechanism of action for GLP-1 agonists, where by neutralizing the impact of sugar, the fat cells become way less inflamed. Even our cholesterol, people who are using GLP-1 agonists, even their cholesterol drops because their fat cells get rehabilitated. And the hemoglobin A1C, which is like a marker, which is an index that your doctor checks, is a number which tells us the average sugars over the past 3 months. And guess what? When you do GLP-1 agonists, for whether you do it for diabetes or weight loss, whatever is the reason, the end will be that your weight will get completely regulated, and we basically rehabilitate people and their metabolic slowdowns, especially during perimenopause and menopause, with these medications. And you don't have to worry about using these medications for only a few weeks or at a time. These medications are so useful that when used appropriately, they can be used pretty much as a supplement for the rest of your life. And yes, can they cause hair loss? The only reason they will cause hair loss for anybody is because we're not eating properly, because they will decrease the food intake for people. So GLP-1 agonists, even though they are sugar neutralizers and they are great for your sugar management, they are great for your fat cells because they decrease the inflammation in your fat cells and decrease the greediness and hoarding of your fat cells. So your fat cells basically relax. It's like Botox for your fat cells. That's how I call it. These are basically weekly shots. They're not painful. They're like tiny insulin shots that you can give to yourself, and they will help you not eat as much. Your appetite is completely regulated. Your transition of food from your mouth to your anus are basically it's basically reduced, so your food takes a long time inside your gut, and so the gut biome can identify the stuff that it needs, and therefore basically people lose weight. However, when you are on massive doses of GLP-1 agonists, and if you are somebody who does not take care of themselves or what they're eating, and they're not taking their adequate protein, and they're not taking vitamins and minerals and supplements, then what's going to end up happening is that you're going to get malnourished because you're not hungry anymore, and you will drop a lot of weight. And then guess what? The first impact of weight loss will be on your hair. And especially if you're perimenopausal or menopausal person with also hormonal dysregulation to begin with, and then you're like very happy about the weight loss that's happening because of the GLP-1 agonist that you're doing. However, if you're not completing the cycle by giving yourself this nourishing minerals and nutrients, and then you're not giving yourself the amount of protein that your body needs every day, which you have to eat orally, then it will be problematic. You will see the impact on your hair follicles. So yes, you can lose hair when you're on GLP-1 agonist, but you're not doing this. Do you have a hair care routine? Well, I just eat well, take adequate protein in a day, get all my supplements right, and I get it a cut here and there. I have very long hair, so I basically just keep it safe. I don't diet that much. I don't use too much color products, and if I ever need to dye and stuff, my roots or anything, I use very organic and chemical free products. And that's that. I use some hair oils sometimes to just externally nourish and condition my hair. And those are like, I like to make a combination hair oil or from not just, I love Olaplex, which is because it's not greasy, but sometimes during the weekend I like to do like a hair mask, or I put sometimes castor oil and some other enriching hair oils into my hair so that it gets some extra nourishment. But I feel that my hair is strong and it gets a lot of the B vitamins from here. This is it. This is my hair stuff going in. And yes, we can add biotin to it. But right now I gave myself a lot of amino acids. Please sit with me as I finish my infusion. Are there any vitamins that are just as effective in a pill form as they are in IV or injection? So the only vitamins I would suggest to take as in a pill form are fat soluble vitamins. Fat soluble vitamins. These are your vitamin A, your vitamin D, your vitamin K. And basically, if you go on your Amazon, and listen, I'm not trying to sell you anything, so I don't get any money when I tell this to people. However, go on your Amazon and look for ADK combinations. And these are, and you would find there are several options. I like the option of Code Age, which is of a company called Code Age, and they have ADK. And I think that they have some of the best combinations at best prices, because you want not just all the important nutrients, but you also want to get them at the best prices, because you're not going to just use it for yourself. You're going to use it for your family. You're going to use it for your friends. And basically, those vitamins I tell people to take at home orally every day. They're not, I don't even recommend them to be done intravenously or even as an injection intramuscularly. Then the other nourishment that I would also recommend to everyone are these are called, there's like a supplement that brand that I really like, and I buy it from them all the time, and I recommend them to everyone. And they are, again, I don't own them, so please, don't tell me I'm trying to sell you anything. However, these are brain mushrooms. These are dynamic mushrooms. This brand by Stonehenge called Dynamic Mushrooms. Again, you can buy it off of Amazon. So when you go and look it up, it has like almost 5 different kinds of mushrooms in it. Especially if you're in perimenopause or menopause, these mushrooms are very important supplements for your brain. They help you with focus. They help you with recall and memory. So basically, your brain is nothing but a computer storage, and it stores all your own experience. Your experience and the perception of your experience is stored inside your brain. So as you go through life, that storage needs supplements to cleanse itself, to help for refile itself. And that's the reason that you have to always keep some of these elements readily available to yourself. Now, I do not have the time, nor the energy, nor the ability to eat 5 different kinds of mushrooms in my omelet every day. But what I can do is to take this capsule, which has 5 different mushrooms that have been ground up and completely condensed into this pill form and in this capsule form, and then you take it. I can do that. I can do that every morning. So every morning I would take an ADK and that brain mushroom supplement. All the mushrooms that can be eaten are culinary mushrooms. So they're all culinary. So culinary mushrooms are the ones that you can eat. I'm talking about just the regular mushrooms like lion's mane. These are like memory mushrooms. These are already, several studies have indicated that these are very good for consumption. And our ancestors have been eating them and consuming them in their omelets. However, I feel that it's very hard to consume these mushrooms in your omelet every day. So I find it much more it's more efficient for me to go and get a capsule than to go and cook every day. But yeah, I mean, if you have an omelet with 5 different kinds of mushrooms on some day, that day you can skip your capsule of dynamic mushroom that I am suggesting. Okay, now will mushrooms help with energy levels and reducing fatigue? See, everything that happens that you perceive, actually, perception is inside your brain. So if these mushrooms are helping with memory and focus, there may be something that it can do for your energy, but I don't think these are for energy as such. For energy, I would probably use something like NAD, which I added in this. Or for energy, what I like is all the B vitamins, because the body feels really good after that. But no matter which ways I slice or dice it, if you're not doing this, you are doing yourself a big disservice. And I don't know why not more doctors are talking about it, why everybody's not talking about it, and why they don't do it. It is so simple, it's so cheap, it is so effective. It's the least that you can do for yourself, for everybody can do for themselves. And I think pretty much everyone, and I think, well, not all infusions are created equal, by the way. So we take the only reason people come to us is because we put a lot of stuff in it, and we keep the formulas same throughout, and we make sure that we don't have any preservatives in it, and everything is good quality. But even if the quality is not 100% like mine, you could still find people who can give you some important stuff. And I remember when we first started doing these infusions, it was like almost over a decade ago when we used to do this. We used to add like maybe 1 or 2 different things in it. But now we are at 25. Like this is 25 plus NAD. I put like 25 different things in it plus NAD, which is a booster. So it's like an oil change and then a booster. That's what I've given to myself. And why more people are not doing it, I don't know. I can't answer that. And how much something like this costs. So at my office, something like this is maybe like $750. And plus, if I put NAD, which is like a booster, NAD booster is extra. So you can think about $250 extra for the booster that I gave myself. So it will cost you like around $1,000 to do this at my office. However, there are places for the exactly same thing, that the formula that we give, they charge like around $2,500 for this formula. And a smaller treatment of this formula you can get for $450 at our office also. This is like a larger treatment, so that's why it's a little more costly. So for a lesser cost, you can get like half a dose, but the dose is full, but the impact of it is not as long. This is for like I do it for myself because I need it. I feel I need it. I feel my body works the best when I do this. What are the best springtime treatments? So during spring, I not only like you to do this, but also spring is the time to tighten your skin. So in the next couple of days, our lasers will be closed back off. And at that point, the only thing that we will be, the lasers are these anti-aging devices that harness the energy of light and transfer it into your skin. Now, during springtime, because the weather starts changing, we don't like to use the lasers any treatments anymore, because the sun is coming back, the temperatures are rising, and we don't like to use light treatments on the skin, because not only your skin gets sensitized to the rays of sun more, but also heat more, so we don't want to do that. So that's why we stopped doing laser by the end of February, because the weather is changing. But during springtime, another device of ours is very, very active, and that is the skin tightening device, which is called Ultherapy. Now, Ultherapy is like another anti-aging machine, which is FDA approved for non-surgical tightening and face and neck lift. And this year, it's also gaining FDA approvals for other parts of the body, for skin too. And basically, it harnesses the energy of sound, and these frequencies are added to your skin, and those frequencies reprogram your skin cells and tighten them and lift them. So again, it's a beautiful treatment to do during spring, because remember, during springtime, just like the flora and fauna of the entire universe grows at that time, guess what other things grow? Your skin also grows the most during springtime. Your skin grows all year long, by the way. However, during springtime, it grows the most. That's why after menopause, I recommend to ladies to not only tighten your skin during springtime, but also one more time when you are, later in the year. But definitely during springtime, if you want to get the best bang for your buck with skin tightening, do it in spring. So yeah, that is my favorite treatment during springtime is fat elimination, targeted fat elimination, because you're getting ready for summer, and all the fat that you've accumulated by eating extra during winter time, you can start removing it from your system. And then the other good thing that we do is like skin tightening with Ultherapy. So those are my two favorites during springtime, and of course this. And I am done. Yes. Guys, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for hanging out with me. It was so much fun. I didn't think it's going to be this much fun, but I'm having a lot of fun. And I appreciate you asking all the questions, and I hope that these questions reach the people who are seeking these answers, and I hope they make sense. I hope my answers make sense. And if they do not make sense, please ask your question again, and I'm going to attempt to answer that again. Just remember, I may not be the source for your treatments, but if I am your source for your treatments, then you will not find relief anywhere else with any other person than with me. So each one of us has to find their source who will give them these elements. And I hope that it is me for you. However, it doesn't have to be me, but if you are interested in these aspects of health and wellness and anti-aging and longevity, then I am just a resource. If I'm not the source, I may be the resource. Okay, guys, I love you. Bye. I'll talk to you soon.